Happening now, the National Transportation Safety Board is moments away from starting a press conference. We're taking a live look at the airport in Bloomington. It comes as they're investigating an early morning plane crash just east of the city. All 7 people on board were killed. National meteorologists say heavy fog meant visibility was less than half a mile early this morning. Just in the last half hour, investigators have released the names of those killed in the plane crash. They are 51-year-old Thomas Heilman of Bloomington, 37-year-old Aaron Leach of Normal, 40-year-old Andrew Butler of Normal, 36-year-old Tori Ward of Normal, 45-year-old Woodrow Jason Jones of Bloomington, and 64-year-old Terry Strelo of Bloomington, as well as 42-year-old Scott Bittner of Towanda. Airport officials last heard from the plane around 12:15 early this morning. The plane was reported missing at 1:45 a.m. The crash location was discovered about 2 hours later, just 2 miles from the Central Illinois Regional Airport. Investigators say those on board were returning from the NCAA basketball championship game in Indianapolis. We'll bring you the NTSB press conference live when it begins right here on News Channel 20 at 6. Well, it is Election Day in Illinois. If you haven't cast your ballot yet, you better hurry.
Yeah, the polls close at 7, meaning that you have, about an hour left to get to the polls and vote.
One of the biggest contests we're following tonight, who will succeed Mike Houston as Springfield's next mayor? We have team coverage of the race. Eric Feldman is live at the State House Inn. That's where Jim Langfelder's camp will be tonight. We'll check in with Eric in just a moment, but first, we start with Jordan Abadea. She's live at Paul Palazzolo's headquarters on 5th Street. Jordan?
Adam, a year of campaigning all comes down to tonight for Paul Palazzolo. He was the first to enter the race a little more than a year ago, and today voting was a family affair as he, his wife, and his daughter all cast their ballots early this morning. Paul Palazzolo says he's confident that Springfield will think that he is the one for the job. He says there was a burst of motivation in these last weeks as he racked up endorsements from former Governor Jim Edgar and former Sheriff Neil Williamson. We have seen the campaign take a negative turn, though, recently with mailings in these final weeks, and Palazzolo says there are comparative facts for voters to look at. He says he's confident in the way he's run his campaign.
It's important to continue to work hard right up until the very last opportunity, and that's how we'll lead serving as mayor of the city of Springfield. You need to fight for Springfield to move forward, and the way that we've run the campaign is how we'll help lead the city of Springfield.
Palazzolo says that he'll be working until the last minute to make sure that people know that he is the best candidate for the job. Paul Palazzolo and his supporters will be at the Route 66 Hotel today, hopefully celebrating what they think will be a win for Paul. And now our team coverage will continue with Eric Feldman, who's live at the State House Inn, where Jim Langfelder's campaign will be spending the night. Eric?
Jordan, the calls have been made, the door knocking all complete, and this sticker was actually given out by the Langfelder camp to people in order to try and get them to go out and vote today. Jim Langfelder voted himself at 10:30 this morning, but it's not the only time that he was out at the polls. This afternoon, Langfelder accompanied his father, former Springfield Mayor Ozzie Langfelder, who occupied the seat from 1987 to 1995, as he casted his ballot for this election. The former mayor says he's proud of his son and that he ran a great campaign, quipping that it was a better campaign than any of his. And Jim Langfelder says he thinks back to those days on his big night.
We're going door to door, handing out the flyers, and he said, you know, we've done everything we could, and as long as you do that, that's all that matters. And that's where we're at in this campaign.
I wished him a lot of luck. No one realizes how difficult the job is, but he'll do a great job.
Jim Langfelder says he's learned from the best, talking about his father. The advice Ozzie Langfelder gave him, be humble. The elder Langfelder added that Springfield will be proud of his son if they elect him mayor. Jim Langfelder says he's done all he can do as the polls are closing in just about an hour. We'll be here at the State House Inn as the results come through. Reporting live from the State House Inn, Eric Feldman, News Channel 20.
Well, Springfield mayor is just one of the many offices up for grabs tonight in Sangamon County, and the county clerk says that today's rain shouldn't stop a similar voter turnout to years past. News Channel 20's Brett Baldick joins us now live from a polling location at Union Baptist Church in Springfield with more on if the election day is going as planned today. Brett.
Maggie, polling locations are preparing for that all-important after-work rush. You can see here at Union Baptist Church, unfortunately, there's nobody voting right now, but polling locations throughout Sangamon County are expecting voter turnout to pick up as we approach the 7 o'clock hour. Now, there are 81 polling locations throughout Sangamon County, and County Clerk Don Gray says there have been no issues today. At last check, voter turnout at 4 o'clock was at 20%. Gray says that is lower than expected. He believes the foggy weather this morning did have an impact on turnout. The second rush is expected during this last hour. Gray says if there is a line, you will still have a chance to vote.
If you are in line to receive a ballot when the polls close at 7 o'clock, you will still be able to vote even if there is a line. An election judge will come to the end of the line at 7 o'clock and say, this is the last voter, and we'll definitely be able to service that voter.
Gray says he does expect a long night for his crew. The mayor's race is very tight and ballots could still be counted around 10 o'clock this evening. Now, Gray also told us that there is a rapid response team ready to go to help count those ballots as quickly as possible. Reporting live in Springfield, Brett Baldeck, News Channel 20.
We saw a little bit of rain in our southern counties this morning, otherwise some widespread fog during the afternoon hours, so some lower turnouts in the morning, but you can see there's a little bit of sunshine peeking its head out even into our evening hours. Temperatures right now not too bad. In fact, still in the 70s in Jacksonville and Springfield, otherwise 60s for everyone else across central and eastern Illinois, but it is a muggy one out there. Some dew points already above the 60 mark. You can feel that humidity in the air. Again, some rain showers did make its way across our extreme southern counties, otherwise just that fog in the morning. Not too bad of a day overall, but our thunderstorm chances are going to increase into the overnight hours, just a slight chance tonight, and then they really start to ramp up the next 2 evenings. We'll break down the main risks you should be aware of over the next 2 days. That's all coming up in your Storm Team forecast in just a little bit.
Thank you, Thomas. Continuing coverage now of a story we first brought you this morning and have been following all day. 7 people are dead after an overnight plane crash east of Bloomington. The plane took off late Monday night from Indianapolis and was reported missing early this morning. The crash site found a little before 4 a.m. just miles from the Central Illinois Regional Airport in Bloomington. The McLean County Sheriff's Office says the Cessna plane was returning from the NCAA basketball championship last night in Indianapolis. Among the 7 passengers, 2 members of the Illinois State University Athletic Department, including an associate basketball coach. Right now, we're looking at a live press conference held by the National Transportation Safety Board at the Central Illinois Regional Airport. Let's listen in.
The Federal Aviation Administration. We've had excellent support on site here at the airport, local law enforcement. We really appreciate all the site security. The local coroner's office has produced their investigation and done their investigation. I don't answer questions about family members or passengers or names or anything like that. So all those type of questions can be directed to the coroner's office. Again, my job as the lead or the air safety investigator or investigator in charge of the event is to perform the on-site investigation. Part of the NTSB's mission is to collect aviation-related data to increase our to identify any potential safety concerns that might arise from this accident investigation, but also to produce a probable cause of the accident. During the preliminary stages of the investigation, I do not answer questions about probable cause or make any kind of conclusions. We're in the fact-gathering stage of the investigation. The investigation is just beginning. After arriving on site, I met real quickly with local airport officials as well as local law enforcement and fire department. Then we went out to the accident site, and my preliminary duties at the accident site is to ascertain if all the components of the aircraft made it to the accident site, because if they didn't, then we have to expand our search to find certain aircraft components that may be missing. In this event, the aircraft wreckage, the main wreckage site, contained all of the aircraft components. There was a limited wreckage debris field with all the wreckage, with primary constructional components of the wreckage either remaining already attached to the airframe or were found within one wingspan of the main wreckage. So this is not a widespread accident location. And I understand that the media wanted to get out there and see the accident, and today with the fog and being in the field, you guys didn't get the opportunity. So it is a limited wreckage debris field, approximately the width of the wingspan of the aircraft. After ascertaining that we had the four corners of the aircraft, which is nose, tail, left wing, right wing, both engines, both propellers were located, as well as the cabin components of the aircraft, my job focused changed to the recovery of the wreckage so we could do a more controlled, do our examination in a more controlled environment. The aircraft, I worked with local resources to get the aircraft recovered, and it's in the process of being recovered as we speak. And it's going to be recovered to a secured hangar here at the airport where we will be evaluating the wreckage over the next few days.
Again, that is a live look at the press conference held by the National Transportation Safety Board regarding the deadly plane crash outside Bloomington. We do have teams in Bloomington tonight, and we'll have an update at 10 o'clock. Among those killed in the crash, 2 members of the Illinois State University Athletic Department. The athletic department naming Deputy Athletic Director Aaron Leach and Associate Men's Basketball Coach Tori Ward as 2 of the victims. Illinois State University President Larry Dietz releasing a statement today that says, in part, quote, "Words cannot fully express the grief that is felt in the wake of such a tragedy. We move between shock and profound sadness. At times like these, we may even question our deeply held beliefs and wonder what the future will hold. It is important to remember that we are never alone in our grief. A great many resources are available to help us cope with their loss in the coming days, weeks, and months." Donnie Tillman will have more reaction from the ISU Athletic Department later in sports.
Also new at 6 today, investigators in Decatur have identified the city's first murder victim of the year. The body of 19-year-old Paige Mars was found around 8 Monday morning near the Lake Decatur Dam. Macon County Coroner says that Mars was killed by several gunshots to the head and chest. Now, if you know anything about the murder, Decatur police would like to hear from you. An affirmative action audit in the capital city offering mixed results tonight. The report shows minority hiring is up almost 10% from numbers 4 years ago, though those figures are still lower than the percentage of Springfield's minority population. The audit shows that female hires have also dropped a tick, but Springfield Mayor Mike Houston says that he believes that the city has done its part to improve its place in hiring minorities.
I think that we have made progress, and if the city continues to make that type of progress over a period of time, those numbers will adjust themselves, but this is not something that's going to happen overnight.
Springfield's Human Resources Department says that women make up more than a fifth of the city's workforce and minorities just under 10%. Still ahead, thousands of dollars in coins. How much the TSA says passengers left behind at airport security last year. Still to come, what's actually going to happen to all of that money?
And later we'll tell you why a pair of pretzels got together for the first time on the baseball diamond. Donnie Tillman has that story and more coming up in sports.
Almost $750,000. That's how much the TSA says passengers left behind at airports last year while going through security.
The report from the Transportation Security Administration says the final figure checked in at $675,000. That's actually up from $640,000 in 2013. All of that money is kept by the TSA and it's used as extra funding.
Quote, "Rip the economic guts out of Indiana," end quote. Those are the harsh words from Governor Bruce Rauner. Rauner said those words to the Chicago Tribune's editorial board on Monday. Now, it comes amid an economic rivalry between Illinois and Indiana that started in 2011 when officials in the Hoosier state started a campaign to bring Illinois businesses to Indiana following Illinois' decision to increase its corporate tax rate.
Farmers and ranchers around Illinois are getting ready to start planting this year's crops. A new report from the USDA says farmers all over the state are now set to go because spring is here to stay. That work will include fixing equipment and applying necessary chemicals to and plowing their fields. While farmers still need to prepare the soil, the Sangamon County Farm Bureau suggests farm grounds are already in good shape following the winter season.
They come through the winter good. We had a good winter. We had freezing and thawing, and so it made the ground real mellow, And for the most part, it's working down real nice. Looks like we'll go in with a good seed bed to plant in.
Beatty says it's too early to predict how this coming planting season will turn out. Those projections are usually made around July or August.
Well, taking a live look at the capital city, things finally clearing up after a day of clouds and rain. Thomas Patrick, he's in next. He's going to let us know if we can actually expect a sunny start to the day tomorrow. But first, let's take a look at today's closing market numbers.
Now, your Storm Team 20 forecast with meteorologist Thomas Patrick.
A little bit of sunshine late this afternoon. That really jumped our temperatures from the low 60s to the mid 70s in a hurry, but it doesn't dilute the fact that it was a muggy day this afternoon. You can see that by that low temperature. 58 was the overnight low. And those with the fog this morning, you know that the dew points are right there as well, and that's where they're still at right now. Temperatures, in fact, still in the 70s in Jacksonville and Springfield. Otherwise, mainly 60s for everyone else across central and eastern Illinois. 65 in Litchfield, 68 in Lincoln, 66 in Champaign right now, 64 right now in Danville. We're keeping an eye on these dew points because that's the humidity factor in the atmosphere. They're getting close to the 60 mark, so you can really feel it outside, that stickiness, that humidity in the atmosphere. Not only does it feel a tad uncomfortable, but it's a main fuel source for these thunderstorms. But we didn't get any today. Most of that got used well off to our south, just some rain activity in our far southern counties along the I-70 corridor. But otherwise, starting to see some sunshine developing off to the west as the sun is now setting. Again, those strong thunderstorms well off to our south, but with the humidity still in place, still got that chance for showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight as these little waves ride along the stationary boundary just off to our north, and that's what gives us that spark to see some of these showers and thunderstorms. So a little bit of shower activity starting to develop in our overnight hour. A better chance for those thunderstorms after the midnight hour, though, and our model's keeping it mostly to the north, but we could see some rumbles of thunder by the morning hours. Check out Wednesday, another mostly sunny day, in fact, but the temperature is still warm and the humidity is still in place. It's fuel for those thunderstorms. Here comes the next round into the early evening hours on Wednesday with this next wave that passes across the area. Those storms actually firing up across Missouri could carry some strong storms into our neck of the woods. And then on Thursday morning, another wave of energy moving through. This is not going to be severe, but it's adding more rain and more moisture to the ground. So now the heat really building, all that moisture building over the next 3 days. That's all the energy we need. And here's the spark that's all going to set it on fire. This very powerful cold front moving through the area in the late afternoon to early evening hours on Thursday. Our model not handling this very well. It's only got these minor showers across our area. So I'm actually looking to a different model for a better depiction. This is the North American model, and this is a way better visual of what this is going to look like on Thursday afternoon and early evening. There's that cold front, and all these little red spots are each individual thunderstorm cells likely to be both strong and severe. All types of severe weather possible with this threat on Thursday. Here is our severe weather outlook. Some thunderstorms could be strong or severe on Wednesday evening, but it's Thursday that has a much better chance with that powerful cold front. I said it, all types of severe weather possible, including gusty winds, large hail, and a few isolated or embedded tornadoes within that line I just showed you earlier. Breaking it down graphically, high winds and large hail will still be the primary threats, but again, an isolated tornado or two not out of the question with this forecast. So for tonight, just that scattered chance for a few thunderstorms across the area, mainly after midnight. Could see a few showers beforehand. Tomorrow, actually get some sunshine in the day, and then that evening chance for thunderstorms not only Wednesday, but on Thursday, both those evening hours could see strong to severe thunderstorms as this cold front makes its way across the area. And that's the forecast part of this segment, but coming up on Wednesday at 6:30, we're going to be talking about how to keep you prepared and safe during these thunderstorms. So make sure you join us for keeping you safe in a storm. Wednesday at 6:30 right here on News Channel 20.
All right, Thomas, thank you so much. And of course, we will, stay tuned to your forecast, and you can do that online, of course.
And on Facebook, Twitter, and our website. So many ways to get this information.
All right, Thomas, thank you so much. Right now, let's check in with Adam and Donnie.
Thanks, Maggie. Sports Director Donnie Tillman joining us now, and it's signing day for a whole bunch of Riverton prep stars.
Yeah, you could say they're kind of leaving the nest, so to speak, Adam. 8 student athletes signed their John Hancock on the dotted line this afternoon. I'll tell you where they're headed for the fall next in sports.
Isn't it Herbie Hancock?
Yeah, something like that.
Now, sports with Donnie Tillman.
Good evening, everyone. The campus of Illinois State University is mourning the loss of members of the Redbird family at this time. A plane crashed early Tuesday morning just miles from Bloomington Central Illinois Regional Airport. Passengers on that plane include associate men's basketball coach Tori Ward and Deputy Director of Athletics Aaron Leach. Ward joined the ISU basketball staff in 2012. The two were returning from the NCAA Men's Final Four in Indianapolis. Illinois State Athletic Director Larry Lyons released the following statement today. The Redbird family and the Bloomington Normal community has suffered a terrible loss today. Our hearts go out to the families and loved ones of those involved. There is no play in the playbook for times like these. We will miss Aaron and Tori deeply, and we will support their families in any way that we can to honor their individual and collective legacies. We will move the Redbirds and our community forward. To prep baseball this afternoon, now it's Pretzels versus Pretzels. It's Freeport visits New Berlin in the inaugural Pretzel Challenge. Bottom of the third inning, Jose Parga singles to center field, driving in a run. New Berlin down 6-1 at this point. To the top of the fourth inning, we would go for the visitors. It's Travis Buckwalter who lines one to left field for a double. That plates 2 for Freeport as they would take an 8-1 lead. Bottom of the fourth inning now, Jake Hunt at the plate. Grounds into the 4-3 put out, but Jason Cross scores from third on the play. Freeport, however, takes the win by a score of 10-3. At Riverton High School this afternoon, a number of Hawks sign on the dotted line to leave the nest and compete in athletics at the collegiate level. In all, 8 students signed letters of intent this afternoon. Stephanie Miser signs with Quincy Volleyball. Alex Bogus heads to Lindenwood University in Missouri for volleyball. Austin Landis will play football at Monmouth. Morgan Heckman and Megan Abushan signs with Lincoln Land softball. Joey McLaughlin will cheer at Ren Lake. Lindsey Pearson will play soccer at Southwestern. Kirsten Berg heads to Blackburn for softball. Congrats to all 8 athletes that signed this afternoon.
I like that pretzel bowl.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
You can do a lot of things with the signs there. Your pretzels are soft.
They were actually selling T-shirts for both schools.
Yeah. It's just
something about the salt.
It's something about the salt. You can do all sorts of wordplay. I just can't believe not only did one school think pretzels was an adequate mascot, 2 of them said, yeah.
They're the only 2 in the state.
All right, we'll be right back. Thomas still has a final look at your 7-day forecast after the break.
And a reminder for you to join the No Tech Zone. Take the pledge at WICS.com and help keep Central Illinois roads safe. We're back in a moment.
Exciting news for all our viewers in the Champaign, Urbana, Rantoul, Danville, and East Central Illinois areas tonight. Our Champaign team is launching its primetime newscast tonight at 9 on Fox Illinois. Join Doug Quick, Janice Harris, and the new Fox Illinois Champaign crew for a live look at election results in East Central Illinois. Then at 10, come on back to News Channel 20 for more live election results and a recap of the top races. I know it'll be busy tonight as far as election results go, but weather-wise, it's going to be a busy few days for you, too.
Yeah, let's try to break it down. You got a chance tonight, got a chance tomorrow night, got a chance Thursday morning, and then one final chance on Thursday evening. Did you get that all straight?
Yeah, we got it. We'll keep in touch. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tonight at 10. Now we return you to regularly scheduled programming, Entertainment Tonight.